Welcome everybody to our Green Acres. My name is Teresa. Today's video is going to be a really fun one because I'm going to show y'all how I'm going to turn some roadside trash into some stunning pieces of home decor. So I hope y'all enjoy the video. Okay y'all, Ben and I, we go walking just about every morning around our neighborhood. There's like a neighborhood right down the road from us, so we go down there and we go walk. So the other morning we went by one of our neighbors' houses. She has her house up for sale, so I think she is in the process of cleaning stuff out and just getting rid of stuff for the sale of her house. So out by the side of the road she had some free stuff. So out of the free pile, these were some of the items that I got. I got this little trash can. It's really dirty, but we're going to clean it up, and I'm going to show y'all how we can transform this little trash can. And these right here are awesome. These are those little fabric tool belts, and I've actually been wanting some of these. And these are just natural. So these right here, I think, are going to be a lot of fun to work with these. She just had these laying out with all the stuff. She had this really cute little rustic style stool. It needs some work, but I actually like, you know, the little chippy look to it. But definitely, we got to clean all this stuff up. And then she had this this shelf. Y'all, this was out there. It just said free. This right here, of course, is broken. It's like a tile. So we can either try to glue this, get it back together, but I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with it. But here is, it's like a, I guess it's like a it's got 3 shelves. One is bent up. So we'll get all this stuff cleaned up, and I'll show y'all what we're gonna do with it. Another morning, a couple of days later, after finding all those little treasures, we went back by her house, and she had these 2 things sitting out on the road. They were just sitting out there. So I guess she just puts things out at random, maybe, you know, thinking people may want them. And of course, I picked those. A little rake heads like this. I did a video. I'll link it. I'll find it and I'll link it and put it in a pinned comment of, I think, 50 things you can do with, you know, rakes and all kinds of, like, you know, yard utensils. And then she had this really, I don't know, this is just like a little planter dish. It's plastic, but I just had a vision for it. I thought, you know what, this stuff is free. I'm going to get home, get my creative juices going, and just try to think up some things that we can do to incorporate these into some pretty home decor. Okay, the first item that we're going to start working on is going to be this stool. Now, I love the color of this stool, and I love that chippiness that it has on the seat, but it does need to be cleaned up. And you can also see that she painted something on top of it, so there's some residue from some black paint. But I just took it over to the hose pipe. I got a little scrub brush, and I scrubbed with some soap and water all over this little stool, and I cleaned it up really well. Now, I like this distressed look on the stool, so I'm not going to paint this. I'm going to leave it just like it is, but I am going to show you how we can put some more detail on it and just add to it with its natural character. I did go around with some sandpaper. I did want to tone down that black paint just so it didn't scream that somebody painted on top of it. So I toned down the black paint, and now I'm going to add some beautiful transfers. Now, I got these transfers from my Amazon store, so I'm going to link these down below, and I've already ordered another package of these. These are less than $20, and you get 3 sheets of these, and these are absolutely beautiful. I have shown how I've done some other projects with these in previous videos. So there's 2 packs that are my favorite, and I'll make sure to link them below. But these have some really pretty designs in them, and they're a really good size. I absolutely love this one of the pink florals in the little picture, so I applied it. And then I'm just going around where I've got the little chippy and distressing on the stool, and I'm just placing transfers where I feel like they could go on the stool but not get in the way of where the wood is, the paint's kind of peeling off, and we've got some really good distressed areas. I'm trying to stay away from those because my transfer is not going to stick as well. So I'm just kind of adding little random pieces of these little transfers, and you can cut them up, you know, and just kind of set them around and layer them or place them wherever you want them. Now I put those two on there, and then I had this little piece left over from where I'd cut up and used on another project, so I'm going to apply it. And that's all I'm going to do to this little stool. I think this right here now is absolutely beautiful, and it's got a really good little rustic farmhouse, little shabby chic style. Now the next project we're going to work on is going to be the little trash can. Now I'm not going to lie to you, Ben, he thought I was absolutely crazy when I wanted to bring the trash can home. He's like, what are you going to do with that? I had a vision for it, and like I say, y'all, it was absolutely filthy, but a little bit of soap and water and a good stiff little brush at the hose pipe just did it some real justice. All I had to do was clean it up. And I love the color of this little trash can. I think it's absolutely beautiful. But you can take a trash can from the Dollar Tree or get an inexpensive trash can somewhere. And if you don't like the color of it, you could always spray paint it. I love the color of this one, so I'm going to leave it just like it is. And again, I'm going to take one of those sheets of my favorite transfers that I have in my Amazon store, and I'm going to apply the whole sheet to the front of this little trash can. Just to give you an idea of just how you can dress up a simple little trash can in your home and give it a little bit more detail. Make sure to stay toward the end of the video, and I'm going to style everything for you so you can see how beautiful every piece turned out. Now the next piece I'm going to upcycle is going to be this shelf. Now this is metal, and is like I told y'all, this is broke. All it is like a ceramic tile, and at first I was going to glue it and try to fix it and maybe put a piece of decoupage paper over it, but it was kind of dangerous. So I started working on it, and I actually cut my finger. It's sharp, and I thought, you know what, you're going to have to go. So the little metal frame that the little ceramic tile was in, it just had a few screws. I just loosened up the screws, and the ceramic tile came right out. And I'm going to show you what we can do with that little area. But the first thing I did was I cleaned it up really well, and I gave it a couple of coats of some Rust-Oleum flat white spray paint. And as you can see, after I took that ceramic tile out, now we've just got that little open area. But I've got a piece that I picked up at the thrift store that I feel like I can upcycle, and it'll fit perfect in that little area. So I'm going to show you what we're going to put there now where the ceramic tile was on the little rack. This is a little sign. I got it Goodwill, and I paid $2.99 for it. This is a piece of beautiful decoupage paper I've recently received, and I'll leave a link to it down below, but I absolutely love it. So I'm just going to go over this writing with a little bit of white chalk paint just to cover it up so it doesn't show through my decoupage paper. Once the paint dried, now I'm just going to take my piece of paper, my decoupage paper I'm going to use. I'm going to go around the edges and just gently dampen them with water. You can use a brush for this, or you can just wet your fingertips and rip with your fingertips. All you want to do is get your paper a little bit moist where you can tear it, because what we want is we want to get just a torn, rustic look all the way around this little graphic. And I think this little mannequin or this little dress form is absolutely beautiful. So I just went around all the edges and ripped them up. And then that way it gave us just a little bit of more detail around the edges. Now I'm going to apply it using DIY liquid patina to this little wall plaque, and then that's all we'll do. Once I get it applied, then I'll go over it and seal it really well on the top using the DIY liquid patina. And now this little piece fit absolutely perfect in the little space where the ceramic tile was on the wire rack. The next piece I'm going to upcycle, and this one was probably the hardest piece to get creative with, but I think I pulled it out. But what we're going to do is we're going to make a little teacup fairy garden out of it, and I'll show you some pictures in just a minute that inspired me to do this. It was very, very dirty, and this is just the bottom of a little plant pot, and this holds its water. I just cleaned it up really well again with my brush, my soap and water, and now it's very clean. Now you can paint this any color that you want to, and you could also chalk paint it. But since it's beautiful right now in Alabama and you can get outside, I love to get out and spray paint things as much as I can. So I just went over mine with some white, not chalk paint, but just some white flat paint. Now here's my inspiration pictures that I found on Pinterest. And these are just like some little teacup, saucer, little vintage type items and plants that you can put in pieces that are like this. Now you can use any kind of little receptacle that you want, but I'm going to use my little green little planter dish, and I'm going to try to recreate this. Now I went to Walmart to get some small little plants to put in mine, and y'all, my Walmart garden center was totally cleaned out, so I'm going to have to use plan B, but I'll show you what I decide on doing with mine. First thing I want to show y'all is how inexpensive you can find little vintage teacups and saucers. I was at Goodwill on this day and just wanting to show you some little options that I found. Now these did not have the teacups with them, but a lot of times they will have the teacups to match the saucers. But look how beautiful these saucers are. So just some inexpensive little pieces that you can get to add to your little teacup fairy garden so we don't spend a lot of money. Now, along with little teacups and saucers, I want to make a couple of little things to go in my little garden. This is a little piece that I got at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to show you how we can take the little clip and the little burlap ribbon off of it, and we can add a beautiful transfer. This transfer right here come off these sheets of the little fairies that I just showed you, and I'll link these transfers down below. But if you want some really beautiful graphics that have the little fairies to put in your little teacup garden, these are absolutely perfect. I applied it to this little Dollar Tree plaque, and now look what a beautiful little embellishment that we can use to set up in our little garden. Now the next item I'm going to upcycle is also going to be a piece that I'm going to put in my little garden. Now this is honestly a scrap piece of wood. This was out on the side of the road. When you go out walking, and I don't know if y'all are walkers like we are, you will find some of the neatest things on the road, in the road, along the side of the road. This was literally just an old piece of wood that had fallen off something and was laying on the side of the road. I picked it up. I brought it home. I'm leaving it in its natural state. Of course, I washed it really good, and I'm going to apply a piece of a transfer that I had left over. And it just looks so pretty on the end of this little scrap piece of wood, and this is a piece we can stick down in our little fairy garden. Now I'm going to show y'all how we can upcycle this garden rake. Now I've had a few of these, and I did a video a while back, I think 50 ways of how you can style utensils like this, like gardening tools, and I'll try to find that video and link it below. But I've got a couple of these, and I left them their original state because I love them the way they look rusted. But this one I decided to do something a little bit different. So all I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to put a couple of layers of chalk paint on it, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to distress it and bring back a little bit more of that rust. And like I told y'all at the end of the video, I'm going to style it, and I'm going to give y'all some ideas of what you can do with a garden rake head. And it is so funny, well not funny, but amazing how God blesses us and knows exactly what's going on in our life, because as I was getting footage created for this video and using the things that I found one again on another walk one morning, this was laying on the side of the road across from someone's home, and they had just thrown it down in a ditch, and I'm sure it's just because they thought it was old and raggedy, and it actually has still a little abandoned bird nest in it. So I'm not going to bring it in the house just yet, but I did wash the outside of it. But y'all, this is absolutely beautiful to me. Leave me a comment down below if you would paint it or just leave it just like it is. I can't decide. But just another example of things that you can find on the side of the road in someone's trash. I want to take just a minute to remind y'all, things that you see in my videos now, you are able to purchase at Stephen's Unique Antiques. I will leave all of Stephen's information down below, so if you see something in the videos that I do now that you're interested in purchasing, just contact him. Also, make sure you are subscribed to my channel. I'd love for you to be a part of my family. Make sure to like the video if you did today, and also make sure to go over and check out my new channel, Teresa Greene. Now I want to show y'all how we can upcycle the little aprons. Now I've been wanting some of these little aprons. I've seen these a lot of times on Pinterest, and a lot of times people will stencil on them. You can, put transfers on them. This right now I'm just going to do on plain, but I am going to give y'all some styling ideas of how you can put these on a mannequin and just some ways that you can decorate them. And while I style everything, I'm going to play some Christmas music for us. Y'all, it's a great time in July. I know this isn't Christmas in July content video because I put that out last week. So if you missed it, I'm going to link it at the end of this video and also down in the description box. But what a great reason to get to listen to Christmas music in July, because we are celebrating Christmas in July this month. So here we go.
Santa Claus is packing the presents, making sure you've been behaving okay. Merry Christmas, honey. Yeah. The snowman's dusting off his hat, putting on the show for everybody, to give them a smile that lasts another year. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December is, when the children are singing, yeah. It's Merry Christmas, baby. Ooh, yeah. There's room at the table for big and for small. All the fire is popping, the chestnuts are cracking, yeah. Merry Christmas, baby. Merry Christmas, baby. The snow is laying 2 feet deep. Now wish upon a falling star, so all your secret dreams can come true. There's something that happens when sleigh bells are ringing, when December is, when the children are singing, yeah.
I want to add here that a trash can doesn't necessarily have to be a trash can. You can turn it into a receptacle, put greenery and florals in it. The little teacup garden, like I said, my Walmart was cleaned out in the garden center. They didn't have any plants left, and so I did not put potting soil in mine, but you absolutely could, because all the little inspiration pictures I saw had a little potting soil and had some little flowers potted in it. So I just got some Epsom salt and put in mine, just to give you the idea of how you can, put things in your little garden. You can plant little plants, keep them alive. You can put this inside, you could put this outside. But using some Epsom salt, I tried to recreate it as best I could, since I didn't have any little plants to pot in mine.
It's Merry Christmas, baby. Yeah. It's Merry Christmas, baby.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe, and I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. The snow is falling down and the storm is on its way, but as long as you're around.
Okay, y'all, we're coming toward the end of the video. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I hope y'all enjoyed my Christmas music in July. If any reason to get to play Christmas music throughout the year, I'm going to take it. It's absolutely my favorite. But I hope y'all enjoyed seeing all the little roadside trash treasures I found, and how I upcycled them and tried to create some beautiful home decor on a budget. As always, I appreciate y'all coming over to my channel and watching my videos. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I would love it for you to subscribe to my channel and watch my videos every week. Until the next one, I love y'all, and I hope y'all have a great week.